Oh, there you are, sweet baby angel, and here I am. I've saved you a seat because we're back on the couch.
You want the trash? I got it all for you. Let's rehash the mess together. A sassy hole that only speaks the truth. Nobody gaslights you better.
Hello, I'm Wilko, the guy who rehashes reality, and welcome to Wilko Rehashed. Make sure you've given this video a thumbs up. I know, you've got to do it before it's bad, you know, because then I've already got it. Okay, well, apparently people can take them away, but that's fine. Just thumbs it up now and then take it away later if you don't agree with the thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel, and if you want more ad-free, including the series we're also doing a watch with me called Perfect Match, you can do that all at patreon.com/rehashed. We're about to get into another episode on the Commit Me couch. It's the fourth time we've been here. I'm expecting a lot of leaves. I say that every time, but this time I'm really expecting a lot of leaves. There's not leaves from a tree, leaves from love lab rats who need to leave the experiment because the experts have not done a very good job. In fact, I think this is their worst season of scientifically matching people than ever before. I say we should just get into it. Oh, and if you're wondering why there's some changes, the studio is changing a little bit. I don't know if this works. Okay, it does a little bit. The coloring's not right, but still, okay. There's some changes happening. Oh, another microphone. What could that mean? Who knows? Maybe I just want to hear myself twice. You don't want that? Okay, cool. That's why there's some changes. I'll explain more in the live episodes with MAFS. For right now, let's focus on the Commit Me couch.
Rebuilding their relationship.
Look what I brought.
Thank
Little cat
I'm feeling
ears.
pretty good about Claire, to be honest, this morning. Did you sage the place?
I did.
Yeah.
Did you get your ring resized?
Yeah.
Cute. I've never seen you wear it on that hand. Jesse's wearing his ring again. And all the ladies know he's taken.
I got it resized because it simply didn't fit. It still holds as much value as it did day one and signifies the message of you're in it, you're committed, let's see what we can make of this. See you in a little while.
Your most bestest suit on.
Mwah.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I believe any of it still, but also Claire, we're not worried about Jesse wearing his ring when he's out and about, letting the ladies know that he's taken. Have you got a ring? Are you wearing the ring? Show us your ring. That could be taken out of context. All right, so the redemption edit continues for Claire and Jesse. Is their love true? Oh, we've just had a couple of... we kissed on the lips. We need you guys to believe that we're a thing now, okay? Also, does she sage every time before Jesse comes over? Just in case that demon that possessed his body for the first 5 episodes comes back again.
I wonder how Rupert felt about the whole thing.
Oh, what do you do? It's not hard to lock a phone.
Yeah.
How hard is it? First move, lock the phone. Second move, vent.
So Cam doesn't have a problem about what any of the boys said. He does have a problem about Rupee and his inability to lock his phone. Oh, the infamous butt dial. It is good to know that other people are questioning the validity of the butt dial. Sorry, the butt dial. It just seems so hard to do in 2023, but we did see the phone receipts from Evelyn that she did get some calls from him that lasted for about a minute. That doesn't necessarily say a butt dial had happened. Also, I find it hard to believe that anyone could hear anything Rupee or really anyone else is saying in a loud, noisy pub during a butt dial. I think what's more plausible is that there was a small butt dial. I don't know if it was done directly by the butt, but there was some sort of accidental dial, and I think Evelyn heard something. And what she did is she led Rupee down the garden path the same way she tried to with Dan with, hey, I know everything, so maybe you should tell me the full story. And Rupee being drunk spilled everything. Rupee being drunk and Evelyn being so beautiful and him not wanting to lose her, he spilled everything. in the 3 butt dials that were very short times, like 1 minute each, I don't think within 3 minutes all of that information had been passed on to Evelyn. But I do like to note that Cam just wants to protect the boys.
It's a flat out lie. How did Evelyn hear everything that was going on if Rupert's phone was in the back of his pocket?
Thing is, I know that bar quite well, frequent that bar. I know how loud it is in there.
Weird
There's
flex.
absolutely no way someone could butt dial someone and you can't even hear each other in there.
Bizarre, she's just come in here. Suddenly, it's the Evelyn show.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It used to be the Bronte and Dirty Hazza Hour. And unfortunately, nobody cares about your narrative because you're both here for the wrong reasons. I'm so sorry that we took that away from you. I don't think hypocrite is a big enough word for those two. Let's think of another.
There's no truth and validity to justifying his actions as an event. It wasn't. He said those things and he meant them, and it's not okay. Has anyone ever used those words to describe you before? Yeah, absolutely. You know, all of my exes are dickheads, and the only difference is when they called me, it was to my face, and Hugo couldn't do that. Instead, he said it to all of the boys.
I think maybe it was a trial run, you know. He would call you a to the boys and, you know, he was working his way up. Because he started with calling you a bitch. And so there was probably a few other things he needed to say before he got to... Oh, did that didn't sound like it properly.
Claire and Jessie.
All right. Oh, look
This
how
is a very different
excited they
couple.
are.
Allow me.
Please.
What has allowed us to take us from where we were last week to where we are this week?
Someone's made an effort.
She sure did.
Jessie, tell us about it.
Oh man, where do I start? So first of all, she took me for a date on to play squash.
Seeing him last week feel not good and not validated and not enough. I wanted him to feel all those things, so...
I felt prioritised. I felt considered. Okay. She made me feel wanted. Yeah, I feel worthy. I mean, I'm sure you can see it right now. I'm in a good mood.
Have you, where you're able to forgive Claire?
Yeah.
I love it.
Forgiveness is a
believe it.
choice. I've heard that so many times throughout my life, and that never made any sense to me until now.
And how do you feel about her now?
Yeah, I don't know, like, well, I do know, I just don't know how to word it. I think I like her the most ever.
I like Jesse. He's funny, he's cool, he's weird. I love it. And I like...
And has there been affection between the two of you?
Yeah, there's been a bit of kissing.
Wow.
Wow. Well, just a little bit of kissing and 2 shillings, cannot fucking believe it. Okay, so they've been macking on a little bit, and that's good because the other kissing that had been done previously was with another groom from Claire, not from Jessie, in case you're just joining us. I think maybe I believe Jessie a little bit, saying that he likes her the most that he's ever liked her, because that's an easy statement to make. I don't know if he liked her all that much until now. I don't know if I believe Claire. I don't know if this relationship is really going anywhere.
Let's talk more and let's touch more.
It's a beautiful formula.
Stay. I wrote stay metal.
Oh no,
forward to
2
another
shillings. No, I don't want any signs from gang signs. I don't even want a thumbs up from you, 2 shillings. So in case you're wondering, as soon as 2 shillings did this, it reaffirmed to me I was very gay. All right, so they have both decided to stay. Before I think the next episode we get to the couples retreat, which can only mean bad things. So maybe it's good that they stayed because it's just going to get more dramatic, or I don't know. It seems like they're really trying to hang on to every couple they can.
What's your take on that?
First thing I want to do is apologise again to you for being insensitive and disrespectful with the
I
boys.
believe that.
I own it. I said it. It wasn't the right place to have that conversation. I let you down, and it hurts my heart to know that you've got a heavy heart as well.
I don't think it does at all. I don't think it hurts Dan one iota. So obviously we know what Dan's like when he's in baseball. But I'm assuming this is him in bitch mode. And I'm not calling him a little B because he's sitting there and apologizing. I'm calling him that because I'm not buying a word of it. I didn't buy it when he did it at the Din Din's party, and I'm not buying it now. He puts in this soft voice and he tries to hypnotize you and make you feel like he actually cares. But I don't think he does care. I think he's just decided that this is the best way for him to get out of it so he can get back to his real life and go full baseball.
In terms of physical intimacy, yeah, we did end up sleeping together. I didn't get much from Dan.
I didn't mean to pull away at all whatsoever. I'm sorry if you felt that
I mean,
way.
you slept on the couch on Tuesday night. We had another argument and we said we'd reset. And then you said we'd take sex off the table because it makes me too emotional.
You said that to her?
Yeah, I said, let's just remove it for the expectation of that and then get back to that point again.
Sheen. Okay, right. Yeah, no, I thought we'd just, as soon as we did the sex, I thought we'd take it off the table because, the women, they get so emotional and so many of them want him because he's just so good at the sex because that's a part of baseball. And then, we have to take it off the table because they're just, they're so hysterical with their emotions that they can't think straight. Crazy women. That has made Dan seem so much worse to me. We're just going to take sex off the table. We've done it once and we're just going to take it off the table now because now you like me too much. And, I don't know if I can handle that.
Last week here on the couch, Daniel, you said that you were not sexually attracted to Sandy. How long after the commitment ceremony you guys had sex?
It was actually the next morning.
The next morning, how did you become sexually attracted to her overnight?
I think we built up in terms of our bond and our chemistry, and one thing that was missing from my perspective, there was a few little walls that were still up.
You said you weren't sexually attracted.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next morning we woke up and had a chat. It was actually a bit of a purging of a lot of emotion that came up, and we had a big cuddle, turned into kisses, and in that moment we were just one.
Well, yes, you can become aroused, of course, by physical closeness, but to be with somebody who you have just stated you are not sexually attracted to, when you know how important that was in particular in this relationship with the two of you. And I'm trying to understand what the end game is for being physically intimate so shortly after such a strong statement. It doesn't seem to add up to me.
Loving this version of Rampola. Yeah, hold him accountable. That is super weird. Yeah, thanks for bringing it up. So you say on the couch, I'm not attracted to her. No, not currently. There needs to be some a build-up of over time. He said he wanted that build-up. And apparently between him saying that and then the build-up happened obviously overnight, and then the next morning it happened. It was perfect for him. It sounds like it got pointed out to you that you hadn't been intimate, and he was like, oh God, I've got to do that. Okay, well, I better tick that off the list, otherwise I'm going to look like the bad guy I know I am. So you say you're not attracted to her physically, and then the next morning you sleep with her, and then you say, let's take sex off the table. Well, you ghost her first, and then that night you sleep on the couch because, you don't want her getting too attached. Dan, tell us what part of that is wrong, because if all of that is right, you're wrong.
I was really happy afterwards, but it's what came after. Because my feelings grew even more, but then Dan pulled away. And then, I just felt hurt.
I'm very sorry this happened this way for you, Sandy.
Me too.
Why did you pull away, Dan?
I was thinking a lot about some of the lifestyle differences that we have. There's some big things that are there, and there's some things that we can't ignore. And one of the big things for me is my love of the beach and the ocean.
Oh my God, the beach
It's
again.
those times when I'm on my own, spiritual type moments that I really want somebody to share that. It's where I feel most at home. So my heart and my mind have been at conflict.
And go to the ocean with your mates.
A key ingredient to a healthy relationship is not the love of an ocean, okay? It's not. You may not be on the same page about water, but there are a lot of more important ingredients to a healthy relationship.
What has happened? Is this guy a merman? Does he only survive if he's around the water? What is happening?
Which of her interests did you dive into and understand?
Good 2 shillings.
Oh, her music and her Bollywood movies
Bollywood?
at home.
Because she's
No,
Indian,
you're
mentioned
shaking your head,
Bollywood.
Sandy.
I
But
haven't
have
taken
been-
an interest.
I have been watching them as you've had them on, absolutely.
You put your noise cancelling headphones in
Only
and you go sit on the
sometimes.
bed. You want to more focus on the fact you didn't get exactly what you wanted in the looks department. Just making that up because you've said to a few people what your ideal woman would look like. What is this thing about lifestyle? There's more important things like your values align.
I could have the same values as a 7-year-old woman. Doesn't mean I'm going to be matched with her, does it?
Oh, fuck off, dickhead. I can't. This guy just needs to fuck off from the TV. The latest interview I saw from him, where he was jerking off about how interesting he's been in the show, no. We found you infuriating for a couple of episodes, and now it's just sad, Harrison Boone. You're a very sad man. And I don't really understand Harrison, because now Dan's your ride or die, you're backing him up. But not long ago, you were pushing him on the bus saying he took some number, which then he wasn't taking the number. Or maybe he did, I don't know. You know who belongs together? Harrison and Dan. You guys make a great couple. Congrats. And let's not glaze over the fact that Dan was just saying, yeah, you know, like her music and her, she's Indian, right? So the Bollywood stuff. and then it turns out that he doesn't really watch it. It's just on in the background and he just blocks it out with his noise cancelling headphones. I'm assuming so he can hear, the sounds of the ocean in his head instead.
All right, well, let's get to the decision. Stay or
Let's do
leave.
it.
What's it going to be?
I came here with an expectation that I was going to find someone that can really join me on my love of the ocean and the adventure and all that kind of stuff. It started to unravel a bit for me this week. I think the best thing for me to do is leave. The beach and the ocean is calling me and I have to go home.
The beach is calling me.
I miss my family. I want to go home and apologise to my parents. I have to leave.
Pull away.
Any final words you'd like to say to Dan?
I still wish that you had seen beyond just the external and really gotten to know me, because I think you really would have liked that
He's
person.
not listening at
and
all.
it still hurts because a part of me thinks what could have been. I think it's going to take me time to build myself back up again.
Dan, you've really cooked this. Even if you and Sandy made some sort of pact to sort of just try and make it as far as you can and, be best friends, you really messed it up. It did not end well for you. All right, that is one couple who are not going to get some seats saved to go to the retreat. Finally, Sandy is free and Dan is even more free to head back to the ocean. We should all go down to Bondi and help roll him back in the water. So he can go full beast mode.
I know what I'm worthy of, and I'm going to keep looking for that. He's out there somewhere. I mean, I waited 36 years. What's another couple?
And I guess, you should ask him straight away, Sandy, their thoughts on the ocean and is it the most important thing to their life?
I'm so glad that Rupert had my back last night. I think it brought us closer.
We came into the week, we were really positive. Given the crash course, I tried to really give it everything. I think the intimacy side of things, me personally, I found that easier.
We are flirting, we have banter, we make jokes. It's nice. I feel positive, I feel hopeful. There's that excitement.
So I said stay.
Evelyn, what have you got for us?
Stay.
I don't know. They're both sitting very far apart. I'm not saying they have to do PDA, but maybe I'm not completely buying the Rupee and Evelyn story. But who knows? We only see little bits and pieces, and most of them have been about the infamous butt dial. Anyway, we've only got one couple leaving and the rest staying so far.
To have Harrison really show compassion and empathy, it's something that I didn't really see for the first few weeks of our marriage.
He's been extremely supportive and wanting to know what endometriosis is and what it does for a woman.
And that's very different to a lot of my past partners. I've had past partners tell me I am going to be a bad mum.
I actually did want to address that. I don't think any woman should be told that. That was really hard for me to hear. I think Bronte's going to be an amazing mum one day.
Thank you.
When I did have the weekend with my son, I wanted them to meet. So I introduced Bronte to my son for the first time, and that was a huge step for me. I haven't done that before.
You've never introduced a woman to your son?
No. Yeah, well, it's a relationship, it's moving forward.
You've never introduced another woman to your son. Well, I'm going to call bullshit on that. Oh my God. Weren't there texts suggesting that some of the other girls that he'd been just seeing had hung out with the kid. You, sweet baby angels, know that I love some performance art, but I don't. I can't with this anymore. He is smirking so much when she's talking about all this shit. Him stopping everything going, actually, there's something I really want to make comment on, as if he's some social justice warrior. Fuck. Wrap it up.
And it is a massive 180. How do you feel about each other?
I'm definitely falling for Bronte. There was a lot of parts of me that I felt like were broken. And I think time with Bronte's putting all those parts back together. I think bringing out the best in me. She's just a great gal.
Are you falling in love with Harrison?
Yeah, I'm definitely falling for Harrison. I can't imagine to wake up and he's not there.
You know we belong together. Head to Summer Bay immediately. There's some producers who want to talk to you about a 3-year deal. You are just the worst actors, and we know exactly where to put you both. I don't know who's worse at this stage, Bronte or Harrison. It's hard to pick. You're falling... Wait, honey, come talk to me. Honey, come talk to me. You're falling in love with him? When? What? When did this happen? That's not true. Stop it. Actually, there is something that we do get some clarification on. So they were talking at the dinner party about how they have this crazy, amazing, wild sex now, which is a huge turnaround considering that they had a huge failure to launch on their honeymoon, but now it's all great.
Pretty wild.
It's pretty wild.
Okay.
We had a few wines the other night and came home, and I think Ollie thought we were remodeling the bedroom.
Yeah, I do hear things, yeah.
Yeah, I hear things about Harrison too. I'm assuming what they're doing is just, in some sort of romantic comedy when they're trying to, to make other people believe that they're a couple, and they're not, but they eventually will, in the end, become a couple. I think that would be different in this story, but maybe they're just jumping on the bed and, banging on the walls going, oh, yeah, stop it, Harrison. Oh, God, a whole 2 minutes. That's amazing. I'm assuming that's what's happening in the Love Lab Rat Maze to make Ollie believe that there's some shenanigans going on. Because from what we've seen, they're still not sharing a bed.
I wrote stay with a little love heart.
Oh God, we have to endure this.
I also decided to stay with a little love heart.
Oh, we
matching.
That's so cute.
Oh, it's so amazing. We both said to each other we should both put love hearts on it, and because then that'll make the story more convincing for everybody that we're in sync and we're amazing. Stop it, it's amazing. Pop it in the comments below if I should just stop including all of this shit. The only reason we should include it, I think, is because it's a real sort of the actor's studio kind of showing us what not to do.
Mr. Bronte, they talk shit on the lounge every week.
Well, if anyone knows talking shit on the couch, it would be you. So that's our friend Dirty Harry suggesting that Mel and Leighton aren't being totally honest with us. And I think they've been pretty honest. They keep saying they don't know if this can work because they just keep arguing. Last week, they were celebrating that they'd gone 4 days without arguing. I don't think they're painting themselves as the ideal couple, but okay.
It was like the same Leighton and Mel pattern. Dinner parties are good, commitment ceremony's good, the next day's so-so, followed by the second day maybe bad, and then good again. And every time we get here, I guess, it feels like we're good. We don't really have much to talk about.
I think we're at that stage where the issues we have in our relationship is as a result of the experiment. We are both very stubborn and hot-headed, so we're always moving half a step forward. And an inch a day you walk.
Leighton, the way you're talking right now, it's like you're in a boardroom. It's like you're trying to convince me and everybody else and take, the issue, kind of dilute it. Don't do that. It's very difficult to get a read on your relationship. This here is trying to put a facade up. But you're not letting us in.
I'm telling everyone that's fine. Own it.
Harrison.
Yeah, Harrison, shut up. You're just upset because maybe they're acting a little bit better than you and Bronte. Yeah, just own it. Well, own it? You've not owned a single thing. You go away. You know that I haven't been the biggest fan of Mel, considering how she started this whole experiment. But I don't think that they've been sitting there trying to fake everything. They say they argue all the time. I don't think that's them talking their relationship up. And also, Long John, maybe you should call out the shit performance that was just happening in front of you. You just let that whole thing happen.
Mate, the guy I met at the Bucks party, you were full of life, really fun, full of energy. And mate, you just don't seem happy. I'm looking at a different guy tonight. Every week we see the same story from you guys and I just don't buy it. Just own it. Tell us what's going on.
I can't. Maybe this is where I give up MAFS. Maybe this is like I give up MAFS. You know, I know the channel needs to make money, and I maybe we quit now. maybe Harrison's just. Maybe that's it. Maybe Harrison Boone is my iceberg, and I'm about to go down. Not on Harrison, never in a million years. In fact, I've had so many women in my circle who tell me how much they find him repulsive. So maybe the whole thing about him being attractive isn't true. Shocker. It is good to know that from the Bucks party though, Dirty Harry, you're exactly the same person that we thought you were. You were shit then and you shit now.
For me, it's a really challenging process. And Mel and I, we're very similar. We're very passionate, we're very headstrong, we're very stubborn. I think there's parts of our relationship that don't work. There are so many parts.
You're being diplomatic. Just tell me what is going on.
It's both our way or the highway. It's like two know-it-alls. Yeah, and it is draining to be in a relationship like this. It can be a little toxic.
So you get gridlocked and your points score. I'm right, you're wrong.
That will happen. That will maybe set you back for half a day or a day. Then we will build on the fact that we do have a really good chemistry and physical connection.
So this is not a facade. When we're good, we are really good.
Yeah.
But it's like scary because I don't know after this if I'm going to be okay with not having that like foundation in our relationship where we can't talk, we can't argue, because that to me it's a dead end.
I don't understand what they're doing so differently now to what he was saying at the start. What he was saying at the start is pretty much what he's saying now, but for some reason, Long John just seems to be buying it all of a sudden. Oh, so you argue and you won't agree. Yeah, that's the same thing they've been saying for weeks. You gotta go. Long John's done. I think we get rid of 2 shillings, Long John, and maybe Rampolla can stay.
Do you want this to move forward?
Yeah, I do. I just can't figure it out. In the past, this would be me done. I do want to try almost anything because there's too many things that are like so close to perfect.
I've told you, you need to get real on this couch. And at last we're getting there. There are 2 CEOs sitting on the couch, butting heads. When you guys have got things to bring up, rather than thinking I'm right and they're wrong, I want you to say, I take your point. Because then the other person feels validated and you can move. It's no longer about point scoring. We're going to go to the decision now to see where you're at.
I'm choosing to stay.
We don't want to hear any more boardroom talk.
I don't know. Some people like boardroom talk. I've seen 50 Shades and they did some pretty hot stuff in a boardroom. So let's not talk down the boardroom. That's what I'm saying. I believe wholly and solely that this season the producers have said, hey, maybe you need to just amp up the drama. Even when there's no drama, just amp it up and just keep pressuring them to say something bad about each other.
Harrison had the height to sit there and call out our relationship, say that he doesn't buy it. Well, I didn't buy your little monologue on the couch.
You're not going to come between me and Leighton.
Stay away from my relationship.
Oh, I didn't know where that kiss was going to land. Was it going to be in her nostril or on her chin? Either way, I agree, Mel. Harrison needs to keep his little Harrison out of other people's things. And I feel like that's something that maybe if his mum, Noni Boone, said to him years ago, that same advice, then maybe we wouldn't have this monster we see in front of us today.
I have written stay with an XO.
All right.
Yeah.
Stay.
Cool.
There's nothing really to be said about that relationship. It's the one legitimate match of the season.
Well, last week I was told that I needed to show up. I showed more affection. I showed that I genuinely wanted to be here. I went and got some flowers and then there was more hugging, there was more kissing. And then we had family come and say hello to us.
Yeah,
I had a
your
good chat
mum's
with
a
Mum,
real
and
piece of work.
after they left, I had a chat with Lyndall, and Lyndall was like,
What did your mum think?
what did your mum think? And I just said, hey, like Mum said, there might be a few little insecurities from Lyndall. It was just about
Needing affection.
but it wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't like, oh, she's got insecurities. It wasn't like that. It was just like, maybe you can talk to each other and try and have a conversation.
Cam, I want you to think about what it would be like for Lyndall to hear that your mum thinks she's insecure.
Yeah, it wouldn't be easy.
How do you think it makes her feel?
Make you feel insecure. I'm not a man with words. I just told it how it was.
I know this is your first relationship. There are different ways to tell it the way that it is. When she hears, hey, I spoke to Mum and she thinks you're insecure, how is that going to go?
Yeah, there's probably different ways to skin a cat there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably different ways to skin a cat there. I also have to disagree. I think your mum was saying that as a bad thing. Yeah, I get it's just you chatting with your mum and shooting the shit, you know, about how you're going to skin this cat, but she was trying to bring Lyndall down. I don't know if she was doing it just because Lyndall's mum had upset you and she was lashing out, but I don't think your mum was trying to make things better. I think she was saying it in a bad way. Anyway, we can't really know her intent, but the way it came across wasn't great. And Cam, the biggest thing about that whole interaction with your mum that I found interesting was that you weren't really sticking up for Lyndall. You weren't saying, well, no, I don't think she's insecure, which says to me that you do think she's insecure and you agree with your mum that that's why she needs a cuddle and a kiss. That is different to a little kiss and a vape.
I was really hurt because after the week that we'd had where all I'd asked for, genuinely, was one bit of affection a day, to hear that this was something that was coming back to me, I had to then work on, it just set me off. I was like, I can't win. I asked for pretty much less than bare minimum, and I'm sitting here having to justify that I'm not insecure. I have literally avoided long-term relationships because I didn't think I deserved one, and our biggest arguments have sprung from having to ask for hugs and kisses. To see when I'm hurt, help me with it instead of walking away. I can't be happy all the time. That is absolutely not what my life has been.
I just don't understand how I was meant to give you reassurance on Friday when you got nasty at me.
Did you back me up? Did you say to your mum Lyndall's not insecure?
Well, if you let me finish the conversation and wanted to give you all this, but you didn't give me the chance.
Right, well, what reassurance would you have given me?
Like, Lyndall needs to take pause before she, you know, snaps at Cam because she really did, insinuating that Cam's mum is a shit person. And I don't know if she's wrong, but I'm saying I don't know. I don't know Cam's mum. She could be lovely. Didn't feel like the energy she was bringing, but she could be lovely, so we don't know. But Cam, it seems like you say things to antagonize Lyndall. Either that or you're just real dumb. And no matter what you were going to eventually say, you couldn't have said, oh yeah, no, I put mum straight. You know, I said, I don't think you're insecure. Because we didn't see that.
We would have had the best chat ever and said, right, we're going to start our conflict different instead of going for the throat. And I would have got you a hug. I would have gave you more kisses. I said, we're both in this together.
Cam, how you bring up an issue is more important really than what you bring up. Sledgehammer goes badly. Let's go to the decision. There you go.
Mama raised no quitter.
Oh. Well, maybe she didn't raise a quitter, but jury's still out on what she did raise. Only time will tell. All right, so we got ourselves some more stays and we only lost one couple. That's crazy. We should have lost a whole lot more at this stage, but you producers are doing really great work at Endemol's. Not great with the editing this year. The storyline's batshit.
I have a child and like my child is going to be my priority, and I've never been in a relationship as a single mum, so I don't even know what that looks like.
Has Duncan done anything to make you believe that it won't work?
No, it's my own insecurity. Why would somebody want to date someone that's a single mum when he can easily go and date somebody else that doesn't have a child? So I guess it's like a bit of self-sabotage. I just like have a really hard time of like feeling deserving of it.
One of the first things I said was, have a look at how I applied for this experiment. I'm happy to be matched with someone with or without a child. I'm not shying away from those discussions.
So clearly I rolled stay.
Woman out of her misery.
Alyssa's brought a whole lot of baggage. I don't think I really understood how much baggage she had brought in until she was like yelling at Claire across a table about something Claire had done to somebody else. Somebody else's groom. Alyssa's one of those people who just feels attacked by everything else that's happening around her. and I don't know if she's ready for a relationship. You've got Duncan here, and let's be honest, we still want to know your secret, honey. What's your secret, Duncan? But he's sitting across from you, and he's saying, I wrote on the application that I was happy to be with someone who has children or doesn't have children. I was happy with either. I wouldn't say it unless I was happy with it. Just like Dan said, he definitely doesn't want to be with someone who doesn't like the beach. But it says to me that no matter what Duncan says, I just don't know if she's ever really going to hear it. All right, how many more couples have we got left?
I don't really have too much to say, actually.
Oh, how could we wrap up the episode without my favourite?
I don't really have much to say, actually. That's a lie, but you knew that. I have lots to say. But I'll let this start first, and then I'll just keep talking over him and rebutting everything he says, because he's a stupid fucking cunt. Oh, no.
I haven't been handling how I've been feeling this week very well, or... Look, I conducted myself poorly. I absolutely admit that. I said to the guys, I just feel like we've been given this insanely incredible opportunity, and I wish being paired up with any other wife or any other applicant. I had no idea that there was a butt dial.
There was a butt dial.
I know, sure. Okay.
Yeah, there was one. Sorry.
And you heard all of this in the butt dial?
Not those exact words, but along those lines.
Later on. Not those exact words, but that was the general gist. I don't believe you heard really anything, but Rupi told you a lot because he thought you heard everything. Also, Harrison, shut up. Shut up. Go away. Oh, God. You're so annoying. Well, it's been made clear to me, and hopefully to you, Sweet Baby Angel, that Hugo doesn't believe the butt dial actually happened.
I just don't know how a butt dial gets through facial ID, a lock screen on an iPhone.
It kind of pisses me off that you keep, just own it. And obviously the butt dial did happen, and I feel like you're not really owning it. You just keep saying...
I think I've absolutely just owned it.
Then why do you keep saying I thought I was in a safe space? I feel like you're just putting it back on me.
Doesn't matter. You said the shit on it.
Why do you feel guilty?
Because
why are you
obviously the butt
accusing
dial...
Harrison? You're sitting there looking...
Asking a question.
Because you're not even involved, and you're just always accusing.
I'll just come around and say I don't believe it happened.
Of course you don't, Harrison, because you weren't involved and you love to be involved.
That is so irrelevant.
Well, guys.
That is so irrelevant. Things that all of us think about Harrison on the regular. Who cares whether the butt dial happened or not? I'm assuming there was some sort of accidental dial, but then Rupi just spilled his guts when he got home anyway. Here's the thing though, it doesn't take away any of the shit that anybody said. And whether it came out from a butt dial or not, it was eventually gonna get fed back. Everything does. Whether it be now or at the reunion.
I like Taylor, but I feel really insecure around her.
In what way?
Well, I mean, body language isn't great. Little things that put you on guard. I'm affectionate. Coming in for the dinner party, you look really nice, kiss on the cheek. I remember you said you didn't appreciate that. Like my guard's up and I'm not really sure what to do.
You're shaking your head, Taylor. I'm seeing it. What's wrong?
Yeah, because I don't know why he kissed me on the cheek.
European family, kiss on the cheek.
Told you, don't make advances like that.
Sorry.
I have.
Did anyone else kiss you on the cheek last night to greet you?
Give me a kiss on the cheek. I may have, because I kiss most people on the cheeks. Yeah.
That's like an Australian thing, right?
I probably might have.
Yeah.
Did any of that bother you?
No, it didn't.
Okay, Tay from Tassie, that's just suggesting that you just don't want Hugo anywhere near you. And I get it, he's not your type. You've made that abundantly clear from the start. But then you can't get mad when he says it feels like Taylor doesn't like me or want me around and I feel super intimidated by her. You can't be shocked then by that answer because all the other guys can give you a kiss and you have no problem with it. But Hugo, no.
But I told him I didn't want him to kiss me. That's crazy that he would feel like I don't like him. But everyone else can kiss me, but no, not Hugo. But why would he think that I don't like him? That's crazy. He's crazy.
But him showing any physical touch towards me, I've made that very clear. I don't want that.
Even a kiss on the cheek or a greeting hello.
When that's like where I know that your head's at about me, I just don't know what the right thing is to do most of the time now.
Taylor, do you think your behaviour towards Hugo suggests that you like him?
I do like Hugo.
Answer the question.
No.
Does your behaviour towards Hugo give him a sense that you even like him a little bit?
Yes.
How?
Because you guys don't see what happens behind closed doors.
He doesn't see it. This is the thing. That's what he's trying to say to you.
Am I
He
getting
doesn't.
the bad rap right now? I don't understand
Because
it.
we've got to look at relationships from both sides.
How am I getting the bad rap right now? What, I just treat him like a piece of shit and somehow I'm getting the bad rap? Remember when he called me a Let's go back to that, okay? Let's not talk about, me. Let's just talk about his issues, because remember, it's Taylor's Way, the podcast. Yeah, I like Hugo, yeah. It's crazy to me that he would think that I don't like him. Where would he get that idea? Don't touch me.
I truly feel like I've made a bit more of an effort than Hugo. I'm watching his shows and letting him choose the meal and things like that.
Do you realise you're saying letting him?
What would I say otherwise?
What do you think you could say that might be different?
Giving him permission.
No.
What behaviours do you think you're doing that is responsible for this relationship?
I don't know.
That's your problem. Hugo, what are you doing to contribute to this relationship problem?
When I feel uncomfortable, I withdraw instead of trying to communicate why I'm upset. I need to be taking a lot more initiative in making her feel secure and also happy. I'm literally just flailing around, kind of terrified.
Oh my God. She hates it because, look, I don't know if Hugo's just playing the game well or if he's being legitimate and for real. I don't know. It seems like he maybe is just smart enough to play the game well on the couch and Taylor she can't read the room. But in her head, she legitimately thinks like she has done nothing wrong. And that's wild. I walk around in the world thinking that I'm always the problem. Always.
Terrified of Taylor.
Terrified of doing the wrong thing, upsetting you more. And I feel like I'm trying to give like a best first impression every single time.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just don't know what he's talking about. It's not like you've been in the corner scared of me. I've not said anything to you that you should feel upset about or scared about. He's putting on an act. I could sit here with my head down and act really sad. I'm the one that's been hurt.
Have you been hurt, Hugo?
Yeah, I guess fatigued by 1,000 cuts, I'd probably call it.
What are you talking about, Hugo?
The little things of how we've been pushed
acting
past
like
feeling
completely
uncomfortable.
different person. Act sad again, okay?
All right, sorry.
Act sad again. Okay, yeah, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go Hugo, act sad. I can't fucking do this anymore. I have done nothing. What, you're sitting in the corner scared of me? What? Don't you get up, you little bitch!
I still can't tell if Hugo's just putting on a great act or if he's being for real. But what we've seen is that she is relentless and she does belittle him. So maybe it's real.
Well, there's clearly work to be done here. Let's go to the decision.
So we're not going to do the work now?
Someone calling me is the right person for me. So I chose to leave.
I did right stay.
Okay. I don't know why you did that, Hugo. I'm not staying. I'm going back to Tassie. No way.
Couples can turn it around in a week. On that note, guys, you can go back to the group.
Oh, she's off. Oh, and that's the end of the episode. Oh, I cannot believe that he wrote stay after all that. Oh, that's excellent.
I'm not staying. I'm going back to Tassie. Book me a seat on the Spirit of Tasmania. Mama's coming home.
And with that, we have to leave. Just like Tay-Tay heading back to Tassie. Another episode of MAFS, that's 21, done and dusted. We are past the halfway mark, so... Oh, geez, it's really a marathon every year. Make sure you join me for the live aftermath shows where you can share all your thoughts and opinions. And if you can't do that, that's fine. Just comment below. If you want extras and other things rehashed, you can find them at patreon.com/rehash. Sweet Pappy Angel, I will see you for another episode tomorrow. Bye-bye.